I'm an NA fanboy, and that's my region. But I'm also going to be looking at Aton Esports, Virtual Gaming Squad, and Nigma Galaxy. This is a team that I feel like a lot of people expected so much out of, but right now they're just not performing to the expectations that people had.
Yeah, for sure, and that's the big one. But on screen, we have our plane path, and it's actually quite west, considering the middle of everything is close to Picado. So a lot of teams going to have a hard time reaching the eastern drops in Pala, La Pedita, La Saha, Jungard, Kiara Branca. And obviously, I'm not able to pronounce all of these as well as you are, my friend, but I'm going to try. And you're going to laugh at me and correct me, and I'm going to be like, oh, yes, I'm going to be working on those. Favorite map here for me, I don't know. I know that yours is obviously the next coming up, but we are going through all 3 of them today, 7. And there's going to be some really interesting. Personally, I'm hoping for some of the more southern circles. I really love the terrain, the really hard terrain that we see. Super high ground, deep valleys with the roads in there and the compounds that we're able to see some of these players play out of with the insane high ground control can make some of these crazy games. We were talking about it yesterday, these high elimination games, and potentially could we see something above 25 now that we have these 18 teams? And that's really what I'm hoping that some of the teams are going to be chasing, try to make a record-breaking game for this one. Pretty much the most standard circle that we can have here in the whole world. Picado absolutely dead center, and most of the teams are going to have an easy time getting some terrain in this one here.
Yeah, I was going to be looking at Box Gaming to see if anybody was going to try to land on them. We saw some scrims earlier that were starting to land on them, but I think that was just messing around. Nothing happened there. Aton Esports, though, the Urban, you were talking about finishes. I actually would love to see another Urban finish. Those are always just a blast to see. In Aton Esports, we're talking about new teams. That's a team that I want to see more. This is a team that dominates their region, but when it comes to global events, they just become absolutely non-existent. And another team, I mean, DAMWON Kia, they did get a 4th place in that previous game. They also ended up with 8 elims. This might be a turn for this team. A lot of people, I mean, even the desk was saying, we expect a lot more out of DAMWON Kia. The tables might be turning for them.
Yeah, and that's the big one, right? We were talking about it last game. The desk have been talking about it. The importance of being able to improve from day to day. It's hard to do from game to game. Obviously, you don't have that much time to VOD review, but from day to day is massive. And I really love that you see these teams having massive improvements from day 1 into day 2. It really tells how much hard work they've been putting in preparing to try to improve here. DAMWON Kia was definitely one of them here in game number 1. Let's see if they can continue that trend.
And talking about improvements, I mean, I was thinking back on that match that just happened in Arago, I feel like there was a lot more people alive towards the end of it. At the 20-minute mark, I mean, I don't think we had lost any teams. And when we went to yesterday, there was a lot more action. So you can definitely tell a lot of the teams decided to just go back, watch that VOD, adapt to some of the playing styles, and being able to back off, not be as aggressive if you don't have to be, especially with some of the aggressive teams that we have seen from Vampire Esports. And even though Stalwart Esports, I keep saying they are playing slow, if you do come near them, they do kind of put their elbows out. They do kind of say, hey, we might be playing slow, but be careful because we are going to be aggressive if you force us to be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we really love to see, the responsiveness, the adaptation, that you're able to adapt in general, you know? Yeah. And that's what I really love to see in general. But here we have Aton and Soul on screen. And remember, we do have 50% off the PMWI gun skits and outfit right now. So check that out here. And you have obviously 5 chances to draw the treasure chest too, as you just saw on screen. TJB here with Virtual Gaming Squad. With a little bit of a fight.
Virtual Gaming Squad, I wanted to look at the indecisiveness that we saw yesterday. Are they going to continue on the trend here? Are they going to go aggressive? I think they're going to be pushed to do it. And here you go. And TJB Sports being able to get that knock and continuing. Virtual Gaming, though, being able to trace out some players, getting the knock themselves and trying to get that elimination. But Kiss trying to find somebody through that smoke, and Faluji is able to find Lin. This is going to be a tight fight here from this, too. But right now, TJB does have the men advantage. Can Virtual Squad Gaming pick up their almost. Virtual Gaming Squad, he almost got him, and he goes back for it, but he's not able to connect.
Kind of a standoff here in Chimosera. And obviously, it's not that center, but still they're fighting for protecting their drop right now. Don't want to see them contest that. It's a it's really rough having a team dropping on the high ground and then being able to look into the city. You don't really see that. You want to be able to control everything yourself. But that's what we've been talking about as well. That, you know, with 18 teams, there are going to be some teams trying to squeeze in, trying to take the terrain away from you, so you're going to have to defend.
And I love what TJB was doing here. They decided to live Skirt on that exact same building. And some of the other two players, as you were able to see on the overview cam, they started rotating. You can see Xiao 7, you can see Kiss right there, being able to rotate and try different angles. And you can see Skirt just putting on some damage, at least making some noise, letting them know, hey, I think the whole team might still be there. Virtual Gaming Squad needs to be careful. They need to watch out. They are starting to wrap around them. And guess what? I do see DAMWON Kia on the horizon looking to hopefully third-party this fight.
Yeah, that's definitely a good opportunity to do so, right? You see a prolonged fight that takes a long time. Xiao finds a pump shotgun, knock on to Gaddafi. It's going to be finished off as well here with Xiao. And TJB in a bit of an advantage here with just 2 players left from Virtual Gaming Squad. You see the distance here you're talking about here. 7 shots are coming in from Junai. It's Alvalucci gone down. Forrest finished that off as well. So Virtual Gaming Squad is just down to 1 shot.
And this is perfect for DAMWON Kia. I hope some of the other some of the other players need to go up to that little mountain or hill, whatever you want to call it, and try to continue to get some of those extra illness. Try to continue to just output some more damage. You really don't have to worry about anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to have another player just looking out for them, making sure they themselves don't end up getting third party. But if I'm DAMWON Kia, if I do hear TJB and Virtual Gaming Squad start getting into a fight again, I might just want to push that, considering you already know they have lost some players from both teams.
Yeah, exactly. Potential easy points for DAMWON Kia. Just looking into this, not really prioritizing the circle just yet. The first 2 circles on Miramar doesn't matter as much as on the other maps because you have so much terrain ahead of you, a lot of space to play. It's really much for that to see. Let's see what the J-Way sees here through his eyes. He has some information. And it's somewhat of a potential gatekeeper that we could see from back-to-back, but I'm not sure how much they're going to commit to it while the circle moves in. And a lot of teams, around half the teams, have prioritized getting some of those cinder locations. J7 on screen.
I think at this point now the teams are going to slow down a little bit more. You can see back-to-back just being patient. And J-Way was one of their best players yesterday. He was able to, I think, collect 4 illims. He was not the player with the most illims, but it was interesting. By the way, for everybody currently watching the live stream, reach 100 million people live watching, then everyone could get items in the 2022 PMWI Lucky Crate. Maximum of 1 award per user. Maximum of 1 award per user.
Yeah,
Avenger.
You can visit that in-game, and you can do the watch together in-game, of course, every day here. But let's see what back-to-back is going to do on this TJB situation, Seven. It's a potential gatekeep or even a camp on that rotation we're going to be seeing coming out of Chimosera. Circle's also closing slowly, so they're getting ready to get out of there. They could have hurt them, though. Circle's going to be popping soon, and as you see here on screen, a lot of teams is northeast of Picado, around the graveyard area, west of La Bandita in that. And right now, you can see our most elimination leader. There's obviously
I love that TJB kind of have their spidey senses going, and they were like, yeah, we need to back up from that. And look at that right there. We might end up getting an urban finish in Los Leones.
Yeah, I could love to see that for sure. Headshots as well. A tie. Shandian, Ravenclaw, and Shiazubu is going to be tying that up. And the other one that I'm actually really interesting as the desk we're talking about here, there is the Eagle Eye reward. $5,000 extra for the 2 longest shot average of those eliminations there. And right now it's 375 meters, and really close by in second place, 373 meters for the 2 top ones currently.
I mean, if you do end up getting those awards, might as well just try to get some skins as well, because guess what? From August 4th to August 13th, you're going to get 50% of the PMWI packs, get a set straight away, and 5 chances to draw the PMWI treasure chest.
Falcons here on screen. Yusuf, great plays from him yesterday. Shots coming out from Stalwart, though, never alone. Scars taking a lot of shots and also never alone. He's going to go down. to the vehicle explosion, and they're going to capitalize on this situation, Stalwart is for sure.
And that's what we're talking about. If somebody does come near them, they are going to start shooting. They are going to try to just put their elbows out, and that's exactly what we see out of that team. And Stalwart Esports actually wants to be able to confirm this. You can see them debating about it, whether they want to be able to push this, wait for the teammates, because I think I only saw just 2 players from Stalwart Esports. Here you go. You can see Pika. They definitely want to confirm this element. Stalwart Esports can taste that first place. I mean, we saw how the first game went. I'm pretty sure that might have just pushed them enough to be on the first place. Currently, they want to continue on that trend. And Team Falcons, they had an amazing day 1. Not the best start for day 2 with a 10th place finish and 2 elims in the previous match. But anything can happen here.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the interesting thing, right, is are we going to be able to see Stalwart continue on that trend? Once we're done with the next game, once we're finished the 3rd game of the day, we're going to be halfway through. We're going to have a really good idea what the top 5 cutoff is going to be, just from looking at our statistics and how many points they have been able to accrue so far. But Stalwart is definitely looking really good. Vampire good as well. They have a good cushion down to Falcons and Regans right now in the 70 and 60 point brackets. But a lot of teams are chasing. A lot of teams are within that striking distance with that one good game that could push them in to the top 5 quite easily right now.
And Stalwart Esports wanting to be a little bit more aggressive, making sure Team Falcon just backs off. And Team Falcon is saying, yeah, you know what, we'll definitely back off. We don't want to get into this fight right now.
I like that because this is super far north in the current circle. This is not a priority to fight over. You don't want to try to get this real estate. So just leave that and try to get out of it. But I like what they're doing, obviously. They're taking advantage of their situation. Being in first place, you want to be able to have some of those easy early fights to secure those eliminations.
Yeah, I'm just, it happens to the best of us, okay? That car flip, I'm pretty sure definitely not intended, but when you're driving through that terrain in Miramar, it's bound to happen. I know I'm guilty of it, and my teammates just hate me when it happens.
Yeah, maybe next week we could take a look at who's going to have the craziest driving and maybe give them an award for that or something like that. Donuts, though, on screen, they're rotating in. They are getting this compound. It's kind of on the eastern side. As you see on screen right now, we are going to be looking at the next circle. This is going to be a big one. A lot of teams have hunkered up in the center. We are hoping for this one to go southeast into Los Leones, but it goes north. Actually eliminates the urban ending in this situation here, but right now Falcons looking good, Morph is looking good, Vampire is looking good, Box is also in a good situation, and a lot of the priority compounds in the circle here is already locked down 7.
They definitely are, and I'm going to be looking at some of the other teams that are currently outside that circle, especially currently in the blue zone. I mean, Team Seoul, you can see them. They might go up against 52 Esports, as 52 Esports is trying to breach into that circle as well. Vampire Esports, I feel like they might be taking a bit of Stalwart Esports game style as they're starting to slow it down in a big way. And Nigma Galaxy, I mean, them too, DAMWON Kia slowing it down a lot more. But this circle, the way where it's currently going to be located, it's going to be really hard to breach in.
You can definitely see the teams that are prioritizing having some of those center spots, being on the quick on the rotates, trying to get some of those good compounds to make sure that they can get quite deep into late game. And then there's other teams that are all right, we're not going to get any situation or good spots inside the circle. Let's focus on getting the eliminations done. And that's obviously what you want to do. The quicker you realize that you're not able to reach the late game and get into some of those good compounds, that you realize that, you can focus on the eliminations instead. That's going to get you such a much better average in terms of how many points you're able to put on per game.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have been able to do that quite well, being able to realize that. And I wonder if that's going to happen here in this game. You see Vivo, Keith, Gremlin, truly just driving around on the motorcycle, trying to figure out where they're going to be. As you see Hector from Team Seoul chasing him. He's able to see him, and is he going to want to take this fight? You can't be driving like that in that terrain. We just saw what happened earlier to Team Falcon. So maybe he rethinks that. And as I say that, now he's starting to get shot at, and I think he's getting shot at by 52 Esports as well. As Omega's able to get the knock there on one of the players, and guess what? Vivo Keed is also able to trade it out. They're just currently, it's 3 teams fighting right now, Martin.
Yeah, the third party coming in from 52. Quite insane to see here with Daku taking that down. That's actually falling quite a lot apart for Team Seoul. Looked like they had the upper hand. McGrill and Diego both down at the most. Cielo is also knocked right now. Adrian trying to make something happen here. Takes shots towards Seoul. Connects a little bit onto Goblin. And now he has to fight. Take the fight straight to him. Pushes with the UMP. Goblin's low himself. He's going to find a potentially. No, you not able to connect just yet.
Goblin has no heals.
No, he has no heals. Going to have to run away for the Blues on 7.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't want to stay there for that fight, and as soon as I saw that, yeah, that makes total sense. You get out of there, Goblin. You try to get into that zone because Adrian is going to have those heals, and you do still have to worry about 52 Esports because they have a lot more lead. They can end up gatekeeping you.
Yeah, exactly, Omega. What can you do here? 12 bandages, 1 first aid, and not much more.
I'm surprised.
The gatekeep here right now. It's Nigma Galaxy Road. He's going to find one of the Soul players. He's going to be able to get him down. He gets third party from the side from 52. Again, a nuisance from these players here. Omega takes shots. Rupert changed to the mini, takes him down. And he's going to be able to confirm the elimination as well. Really rough situation for Team Soul. They're the guys initiating on Vivo Key.
Team Soul getting eliminated with 3 LMs. It didn't end up working their way. They were trying to play really slow. And what I was surprised is that for a team that was playing really slow and looting so much, they didn't really have that many heals. They had to use so much heals because they stayed on that zone for so long. 52 Esports. Congratulations. You were able to at least third party get one of those LMs. I know, I'm pretty sure they have a lot of damage because they were also shooting earlier when Vivo Key and Team Soul was fighting. Good awareness out of 52 Esports.
Rotations are coming in. The circle has popped and it's gone southwest. It's in quite open terrain. It has a road straight through the middle. So the compounds there, they are extremely viable and important to play right now. Right now, Forest has gone down from DAMWON Kia. The Regans again taking good control on the edge. You can see on the map that they are outside, but they are gatekeeping all the teams that are trying to get in from the east because it's a western shift or southwestern shift at least.
And with RSG, I'm pretty sure they want to continue on that trend as one of them does get knocked by Wildcats Boran. And I am seeing some players from TJB actually getting eliminated to the zone. Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Super unfortunate for TJB. Guys on the desk are going to be like, oh no! Please.
How could they?
All right, X-Ray from Istanbul Wildcats. They are putting on some pressure onto Regans. Regans had a good game last one. Obviously, being able to put themselves into the top 5 now.
They didn't, I think.
Is lost, though. They're down to 3 players. They are on the edge. They're going to have to fight their way in this situation.
I was going to say, I think Flower C is trying to go. Great timing, by the way, Flower C. That was the best timing possible as 2 players from Donuts USG was coming up. UC needs to be careful there. GC needs to be careful because one of the players, Missile, is currently aiming down on him. And I think RSG is going to be able to recover that player that was knocked earlier.
Exactly. Let's see what they're able to capitalize on this situation here. Outside the circle right now is a rough one for sure. More pictures coming out for 7, while the other players...
While Donuts is starting to push up. How is Donuts going to be able to approach the situation? Are they actually how much utilities do you want to waste on this, right? That's what we're going to keep in mind. And there is a knock right there from them. Here we go. Here comes the push from Donuts. Donuts knows that they have the man advantage. DD throwing some as well. And he gets knocked. Oh no, by Wildcats.
What?
They end up getting third party by Wildcats. RSG just unlucky in that situation as Donuts, definitely one of them. But guess what? Flower C is still alive. There is a little bit of hope for them on being able to get at least some placement points unless Naoto is able to spot Flower C. And I think they might have done just that as Flower C is going to be... Oh, man, this is just not a fight that you want to be at. I was hoping that he would be able to lay it down and just not get found. And guess what? He's going to get pushed. Can he knock? He's able to knock one. Can he knock the other one? He's not able to knock Cezanne from Donuts. Good try there from RSG, the winners of the previous match.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 4 rivals here fighting. You can also see Vampire in the distance. The next circle has popped northwest. This is a really rough situation. The vast majority of the team are actually on the eastern side, so it's going to be having to fight for terrain that is not a lot available for them right now. 4 rivals on the distance. They actually got a hard shift towards their direction, which is good, but Vampire right now outside the circle, they have to fight their way in here, 7.
Yeah, and if we look at the current circle, I mean, there is some teams in there, but they're currently pretty much on the edge. And as you mentioned, there's just so many teams outside of that circle. Aton, you see it right now, Vampire Esports knocking one of his own teammates as Stone does get knocked by 4 rivals. I thought they were going to be going up against Morph, and guess what? Morph realizes that, and he's also going to try to push. He needs to be careful. He's able to get one knock. He gets knocked himself. Can Fluke clutch this up. He was able to. He might be able to heal up himself and also revive that player as we see Lappy now moving around, trying to get some of the other confirmed ilms. More frenzy though, throwing nades and being able to confirm those ilms.
And this is a really rough situation. As you see, these teams are trying to get into the circle. There are so many teams outside. Donuts is one of them. Vampire is one of them. Back to Back is one of them. DAMWON, Kia, Istanbul, Wildcats, Aton. All these teams, they have to move into the circle, but they are focusing on the eliminations because they know it's going to be really hard to get into this. That's why they're not rushing to get to the circle. They're rushing to try to get these eliminations confirmed. Vampire down to 2 players.
And right now,
for them.
I was going to say, there's so much third-partying going on. We saw 4 rivals trying to third-party that fight, and guess what? They ended up getting third-party themselves by Stalwart Esports and also the play zone. Vampire, though, looking at Donuts. Can he get that knock? He's not going to be able to get that knock. Fluke about to go down to the zone, actually. He ends up going down to the Donuts players, and there you go. Vampire Esports, Team Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, being able to get that final ilm.
Donuts just trying to get deeper and deeper into this situation, but it's not looking too good for them so far. DAMWON, Kia with the utility usage now it's coming out. Zone is pushing them. They're not inside. It's not going to stop anytime soon. Wildcats in front of them. They want to try to clean up this situation maybe. They are just on the edge of this. They want to be the last team to come in from this southeastern side. And as you can see, it's been found.
Some players from DAMWON, Kia driving around, hoping they can survive a little bit longer. And guess what? They might be able to do just that. Good scouting out of that player, too.
Nikan. Ooh, Donuts trying to make something happen here versus DAMWON, Kia. Can he win it? He does. DAMWON, Kia gets him down. Fantastic play here. Denba. And now Istanbul Wildcats decided to move into this spot, and they want to be that team that are controlling that southeastern edge. Aton on the further side here.
Great
Wildcats
positioning as well there from
I like
Wildcats.
That. Oh my God. I can't believe it. They're able to get some crazy shots coming out of this one. Aton taking more shots towards Wildcats. Now Stalwart on screen right now, Speaker.
The reason why I was saying great position there from Wildcats, you guys aren't currently able to see it, but they are going to be able to gatekeep at least one of the players from DAMWON, Kia. And the way DAMWON, Kia was playing just there, I mean, that great awareness out of them to just focus on getting into the zone. Some of the other players are going to try to get into the zone. We see AkshaT going up against Falcon Esports. Can he get this knock? He does decide to get in the car. What are you doing, Powerful? Oh, man. That was so scary. AkshaT only has a little bit of HP. He is able to get that knock, and that's why he was one of the top players of day 1. And guess what? Stalwart Esports confirming those ilms.
That's crazy. Yusuf, last player here for Falcon. 3 eliminations for him so far. Trying to get some utility out. Potentially could find one. Top gets taken down. He's pushing in. Utility is also taking further ones down. And Box is fighting with Nigma Galaxy. More utility being used. That could be a good grenade too. That does some damage on top.
Use it. Putting himself in a great position. Stalwart Esports is going to have to push this up. I'm wondering if he also has any other grenades. Oh, he's starting to get third party from, I believe that's Wildcats or DAMWON, Kia, stopping the idea that he had. And guess what? AkshaT finished it off.
Yeah, and now they have to move in. They have to try to get in further to the circle. This, as you see on the minimap top right, it's a really rough southern shift. A lot of teams are fighting for that north control right now. 52 really close to top here from Stalwart. Vast takes him down, jumps with the UMP out and just finish him off really quickly. Did not expect that for sure, but that's a good third-party advantage peak right there. Scry is also making something happen, but 52 is disengaging from that fight. They want to take control of the lower ground instead and let Stalwart fight with DAMWON, Kia inside the crater.
They were taking advantage of that, and also you can see Vass still staying over there, still trying to get an angle in case some of the other teams, especially Stalwart Esports, decides to push up. Great awareness out of that, and I mean, for him to be able to get one of the players from Stalwart Esports out, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to have Stalwart push that southern side. They want to get into the fight here with DAMWON, Kia. They need to take control of the inside of that crater. Juni has a Groza, though, I see right now in hand, so it could be a hard player to take down. He also has a really good Rich to play with. There is utility being pushed out as well.
Yeah, this is when you start wondering how much utility this 52 Esports going to have, because if they can throw a Molotov, they're going to absolutely stop that push from Stalwart Esports, allow them to back off a little bit more, and also cause some damage. And as I'm talking about Molotovs, that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to stop that push from Stalwart Esports and position themselves a little bit better, get some angles. This is going to be an interesting fight, how Stalwart Esports is going to be able to get out of here, and if any of the other teams are going to be able to their party, because Wildcats might just get an angle on 52 Esports.
That is crazy. That's a really aggressive push for Wildcats. You see them pushing in. The foe is just putting more damage into it. The UMP is in play. What can Danba do? The foe also aggressive in this situation. 5 eliminations for Wildcats. A lot of really top-heavy right now in terms of eliminations across the board. 5 on Stalwart, 5 on Wildcats, 8 on Nigma Galaxy.
I was going to say they really are, but one team that's being quiet right now that also has elims, Nigma Galaxy. They're currently sitting at A. They're playing it patient. You can see some nades coming down into DAMWON. Kia. Is Wildcats going to make this push? He decides to back off as Nigma Galaxy. There you go. Now they're finally starting to wake up. Now they're starting to see the opportunity that they have here. Raduv, he knows where they're at. Is he going to go for the knock? Is he going to be able to get Pharaoh? The nades are going to be coming in. Here comes the utilities. And you know, Stalwart Esports are going to be loving this as Nigma Galaxy able to get one knock, but they're not going to be able to confirm it right now.
Stalwart finds multiple players here, or just one actually finishes him. DAMWON Kia. 52 under so much pressure from multiple angles. This situation here, Lord is doing a really good job trying to make sure that it happens off. DAMWON Kia is out meanwhile. 5th place, but Istanbul Wildcats is joining this fight here. Third party from the high ground, trying to put pressure onto 52. 52 under so much hardship right now. They're going to go down. They're out in 3rd place, and now it's down to Stalwart and Wildcats.
And Stalwart Esports just going for the full-on push. They know where Wildcats is at. Can they get those knocks? 666 trying to back off, get some angles. Here comes the fight. The foes can he win this 1v1? He's going to lose that 1v1 to AkshaT. It comes down to 666, and AkshaT is wanting some blood, and he's going to be able to get that last elim and secure the chicken dinner for Stalwart Esports. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked the desk yesterday, who do you think is going to end up winning this tournament? They told me, without even blinking, Stalwart Esports. And guess what? Max, Kalaris, Jason, you guys just might be absolutely
them off of their pedestal, I think is fair to say. This was a great execution from them once again to be able to play this north side of the circle. I did think they were going to get pinched, but they got a little bit fortunate about some of these other teams kind of crunching down on one another on the west flank as well as the east flank.
As we take a look at our STC match rankings, you can see Stalwart Esports, 26 big points, Max.
Yeah, 26 points on top of that. Like, every single fight was once again super snappy. They actually took a very early fight versus Falcons. Falcons wanted to play edge. They just kept pushing on them, so Falcons could not play to the level of gameplay they would have expected in this Miramar game. So a little bit rough, but yeah. And even Scry's like, yeah, I'm the support player. I'm just gonna send it. I'm just gonna jump above the wall and just go and eliminate an entire squad. So, I mean, as you said, you think Stalwart's going to be a top team. I think everyone here thinks that Stalwart is the best team. Like, there's no way you don't think that.
Hey, I mean, if Vampire doesn't nade themselves and start off the landslide as their demise, maybe they would have placed a little bit higher there. But again, we see Falcons, decent result, DAMWON Kia yet again. And for one of the first times, Dennis Bank Wildcats able to make themselves a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, we were actually surprised while looking at like the stats in the tournament before this game. X-Ray was like the 3rd best fragger of the entirety of PMWI, was what, 16 eliminations?
Yes.
That was a little bit unexpected. So there's definitely something working out for them, and here it definitely worked out with the 2nd place and 19 points.
Yeah, coming into today, I think he was in that 5th tied pack where there was all the 11 eliminations and things like that. But yeah, definitely so. I mean, looking at their placement to elimination ratio, I think even from yesterday as well, there was a little bit of a surprising, variance to that. I think yesterday when they were trying to hold off against Nigma Galaxy that came on a wide wrap around them against Erangel, I think they could have held that off better and then potentially beaten out Stalwart in the game that they won yesterday of all teams, actually. But Wildcats wasn't able to hold that down. So it's nice to see them getting some points here now.
It's just cool to see the resurgence of a lot of teams that struggled on day one, right? You got Dennis Bank Wildcats, Nigma Galaxy, 52 Esports, DAMWON Kia. So like they are slowly climbing back up. They can't afford another bad day. I think you touched upon it earlier, right, Jason? If they have if you had a bad day 1 and you also have a bad day 2, your hopes of a championship position in the top 5 are dead.
And just as an aside as well, I'm actually happy to see 52 Esports getting themselves 13 points in this game. The reason being is because they already kind of put themselves at a little disadvantage in Miramar in that they're dropping in Ruins, which is far northwest. It's one of arguably one of the worst drop spots on the map, but they're still using it and did okay.
Gentlemen, I'm just going to clarify this for you guys here and obviously for you all at home. This is the player stats of Stalwart Esports, not the entire event. This is just today in 2 matches.
AkshaT was the MVP of day 1.
Yes.
So you want to give them the trophy for champions. Do we give the MVP to AkshaT too? I think we just do 2 in 1. We just do it. Like, just give them both. It's pretty much there.
I was going to say, are you sure that this is just day 2?
Did he just
17
double his eliminations? Because he had like 17. He had like the most eliminations day 1, didn't he? When we looked at our top eliminators, he was like at 17 or 18. So he almost doubled his eliminations in 2 matches.
Okay.
Yeah, AkshaT. He's really